Hello everybody. I just realized before starting that I'm wearing a yellow shirt. It doesn't look like you can see through me, but yellow doesn't work very well with the green screen. So hopefully it's not bad. Thanks everybody for coming to the Epic Megabundle live stream. Before we get too far into it, I want to announce the first couple of speakers for Epic WebConf. So let me share my screen. This is the Epic Megabundle, 65% of everything you need to become a Epic web developer. And it really is everything. We're going to take a tour, but like just look at all of this stuff. Holy smokes, there's so much in here. So much. It's just a lot. And we're going to go through all of it. It's going to be sweet. But let's start with these. If you go to epicweb.dev/conf, you're going to see early announcements for our speakers: Aaron Francis, Alex Anderson, Annie Sexton, Dax Rad, myself, and Madison. It's Kana. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. It's not Kana. I'm pretty sure it's Kana. Yeah, these people are awesome. Also, haven't gotten it on the website yet, but Ryan Florence will also be speaking, as well as Zach Jackson. It is going to be just the coolest conference. And I actually have the other speakers selected, I think. I'm just wrapping up the last couple of things. So very, very exciting to have these folks speaking here in Utah at Epic WebConf in March. So yeah, come grab your early bird tickets right now, because it's going to be amazing. And if nothing else, just watch this video because it's pretty, like, that's awesome. So watch this video to get an idea of what last year was like. This coming year is going to be epic. It's going to be so, so great. Okay, with that announced, actually, well, I'll post it about this, about those speakers later. Yeah, with that, now I am just excited to kind of give you a taste of what Epic WebConf or Epic Web Megabundle is all about. So yeah, there's a lot. It's showing 90% for me because I have almost everything that's in the Megabundle. I think there's actually a bug because I actually do have everything in the Megabundle. But anyway, that's actually a good thing to call out. If you do have some pieces of this already, then that will be a credit onto your purchase. And so you'll have an increased percentage discount, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, basically, the simplest way that I can say this is that the Epic Megabundle includes everything that you can pay for on Epic React, testing JavaScript, and Epic Web. And in fact, it's actually the only way to get Epic React V1 because we're no longer selling that. But Epic React V1 is a bonus that you can get along with Epic Megabundle. So yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a ton of stuff in here. So we'll start with the Epic Web stuff. We've got authentication strategies implementation. Actually, you know what? Let's look at this specific. So here's the full stack stuff. So this is included. You have your full stack foundations. This is going to get you learning the basic fundamentals of what being a full stack web developer entails. This is specific to Remix, which is very applicable to React Router version 7. There are a number of small changes, but the principles that you're going to learn from this are the most important. And actually, since I mentioned the word principles, I should probably talk about the Epic programming principles, which I launched last week, I think. And I've been working on this for a long time. This is basically the beginnings of a book, to be honest, of how I make all of my decisions. And yeah, it's actually quite extensive. There's a lot of stuff in here, different things that guide the way that I solve problems on the web. And I think that it should be helpful to you too. So go ahead and give this a look at some point. There's a lot in here. Grab yourself a popcorn and hot chocolate or something, because there is, yeah, it's good stuff in here that I think will help you in your journey. And everything that I teach you in Epic Web and Epic React, everything is tied to one of these principles. And that what I'm hoping to teach you is the principles rather than the specific tools and technologies. Now, of course, you need to know the tools and technologies, and you need to use those to accomplish specific tasks. And so we are using specific tools. But the goal is to help you get an idea of the principles behind all of these things, so that no matter what changes there are in the landscape, you can adapt to those things. In fact, that's one of the principles here. It's adapt to and adopt productive tools. So it is one of the important principles is being able to adapt to the changing landscape. Okay, anyway, back to this. So the full stack foundations is going to cover very fundamental and important aspects of full stack web development. This is like, if I were to give this as a workshop live, this would be 2 days. And so, there's a lot of material in here. The professional web forms, 22 exercises in 8 sections. So this is another 2-day workshop where we go deep on forms. We do use some abstractions, but you get some really solid understanding of how forms work on the web, how to progressively enhance them, how to secure your forms, handling file uploads and complex data structures, all of that stuff. You'll learn both the practical aspects, but also the fundamentals around it, so that you can apply those principles wherever you go. Data modeling deep dive. This is going to be learning how to model different relationships between the different models that you are trying to represent and persist. This is also going to show you how to handle migrations, even like zero downtime type data migrations, which is pretty interesting. Seeding the database and optimizing queries. Will go pretty deep on SQL and the explain command, so that you can understand what's going on. And so when you are adding indexes, you're just not like throwing indexes at it and hoping that it works, but you actually understand why the indexes work. Different things like that. And also even writing raw SQL in here too, which is very exciting. And then, that also is a maybe like 2.5 day type of workshop if I were to give that myself. So already, if you were to spend any money on like a live workshop in person, that's 2 days, 4 days, and 6.5 days. It's like a week worth of workshops. That is going to, for any instructor that you pay, even if their tickets are really cheap, maybe they're $200, you're looking at $1,400 worth of material just right here. And that is more than what I'm charging for all of this that we're talking about today. It's awesome. And if you haven't actually gone through any of the Epic Web workshop format before, then you don't realize how killer it is. It's so good. You should ask somebody you know who actually has gone through it, because it's very good. You're working in your own local environment, using your own tools. Everything is really great. Okay, so then web authentication. This one's a massive one. This really is like a 5-day workshop by itself. Probably should have split it up in retrospect, but it's not bad for you. It's just harder for me to manage because it's so big. But yeah, it is. It covers a ton of things. We get into really fundamental things, and then really important security related things. That's the thing that scares a lot of people, is like, how do I make authentication secure? It sounds hard. And so we demystify all of that for you. Handling even permissions and verification for 2-factor auth and password reset and stuff like that, and even third-party auth. We even get you a single sign-on ready, and there's an example. We don't have an exercise for SSO, but we do have an example that you can look at and see, oh, okay, it's just like these couple of things that we need to add to make it SSO. It's pretty cool. And then we get into testing, full stack testing with Playwright and vtest and some static testing tools as well. We get into component testing and integration testing. It's very good. Really deep, and this one is probably like 3 days worth of workshop material. So just this alone is, and when I say 3 days, I don't mean like you should do it in 3 days. I mean, if I were presenting this live with like 6 to 8 hour workshops, that's how long it would take me to get through all of this material. I actually don't recommend that you just go through it straight, because it is good for you to take breaks and everything. And breaks are kind of an integrated part into the whole workshop experience. And so, yeah, it's a good idea for you to just go through this kind of spaced out so that your brain has time to think. And then, of course, we have our interviews with experts. We have 25 people who are experts in the industry sharing their experience. And these are some of dear friends of mine and just really, really smart people giving really, really great advice. So don't miss out on that as well. It's really, really great stuff. Something good to do while you're doing the dishes or something. So yeah, tons and tons of stuff, of course, with the excellent workshop experience, that learning experience that's so critical. And yeah, you should take a look at it just for that. But we have more than just that. Before I get into the other things that you get out of the Mega Bundle, I just wanted to mention that you can ask questions. I am looking at the YouTube live stream chat. And also, I should probably pull up, let's see, no, it'd be X Kent. I should pull up the live stream here. So if you post to, I don't know how you look at comments and stuff. How do you comment on this? I can edit this, broadcast, click on this maybe. Stream. Where are the comments? I don't know how you comment on here. Maybe reply on this post, I guess. But yeah, so if you want to throw it in the YouTube chat, or there's even Discord chat for the live stream, you can ask questions there. Okay, sweet. So what else do you get from the Mega Bundle? Well, you actually get more from Epic Web. So if we go to the Pro workshops, we'll see there are a couple other workshops that we didn't talk about. I wonder, actually, I can't remember. Yeah, we have the testing page. We'll talk about this first. So Artem Zarchenko, I think I'm saying his last name wrong. Sorry, Artem. But he's master of testing, fantastic, and he is effectively redoing testingjavascript.com as Epic Web workshops. And so right now there are two of these. We have the Testing Fundamentals workshop. This is a 2-day, probably about 2-day workshop where you learn the fundamentals of testing. You build your own testing framework so you really, really understand what the testing frameworks are doing under the hood. You support async tests. You support your own assertion library, a bunch of really, really cool things that help you get a really good idea of how and why the testing frameworks do the way that they do the things that they do, and it will help you understand how to use them more effectively. So that's the goal there, and this is the way that I teach really everything, is just try to help you understand why is it working this way, build it yourself so that you can get a really solid understanding. We do this everywhere, actually. So here Artem is teaching you to build your own v-test. I also, when we're talking about React, I teach you how to how JSX works before we bring in JSX. We're just using raw create element APIs. We implement our own use hook. We implement our own RSC framework. I'm constantly trying to say, okay, let's implement it ourselves so you can really understand how it all works. And I think that's pretty cool. So then Artem also has this 2-day mocking techniques in v-test workshop that will help you really understand how mocks work from a low-level primitive. And I think that's really important for you to understand. Again, we're implementing kind of like how it works under the hood to really understand how to put all of these pieces together. I think that's really valuable. So and then type safety tips for mocks. That's nice. That I remember early on when TypeScript was really just starting to pick up, type safety on mocks was like the huge. You're just saying as mocked a version of this, and there's just a lot that you have to do to make all that work. And Artem's going to teach you all this stuff. Also dates. My goodness, date and time mocks. What a pain. And Artem makes it not a pain, and you're going to love it, and it's awesome. So yeah, all of course using the Epic Web Workshop app to help you have the most awesome experience possible. It's very cool. I'm pretty sure that this, yeah, look at that. Look at that attention to detail. That's nice. The image itself changes. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, then we've got, that is all included. So part of the Epic Web Mega Bundle is you get all of the testing material. And then beyond that, we have Pixel Perfect Figma to Tailwind from Simon Vrakuliotis. So Artem's last name is not the only one I have a hard time pronouncing. Sorry also to Simon. But yeah, so the Pixel Perfect Figma Tailwind also in the Epic Web experience, but you also actually get access to the Figma file, and you can use that to get some experience using Figma and bringing that Figma design into your actual implementation. He takes the Epic Notes app, in fact, Epic stack.dev, this homepage right here is what you build. So he takes it from the design that I threw together that wasn't great, and changes it into like this really fancy, nice, responsive design that I think you'll really enjoy putting together and making it pixel perfect. So if you have a designer who gives you Figma designs, then this is the workshop that you want. You can, of course, get, actually, I should mention this, you can, of course, get Artem's testing workshops and Simon's Tailwind workshop totally separately outside of the bundle. But if you get the bundle, then you're effectively getting a discount on everything, 65% or more discount on everything. So definitely the best bang for your buck. I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, I guess I'll mention this as well. We also have free tutorials that you can go through. So if you want to get a taste of what the experience is like, then Simon actually put together a free workshop on Tailwind CSS color tokens that also uses the Epic Web workshop experience. The rest of these do not. But this one does, so you can get kind of a taste for what that experience is like. Sorry, one second. I didn't bring my water bottle in here with me. We're going to be in trouble, maybe. We'll see if I can talk the whole time without speaking or without needing water. Okay, so I just noticed we've got a couple of questions that I'll look at before we move on to the next bit. So somebody's asking about whether the Brazilian discount is available. Yes, you should have purchase power parity, and so your discount could be even better than the discount that is available right now. So you just choose whichever discount is better. And if you're not seeing it or you have questions about it, you can email team@epicweb.dev and they will answer any questions that you have about that. Christian, seeing a max discount at 65 at the site at the moment. Yeah, so the reason that you're seeing 90% on mine is because I actually have access to almost everything. I technically have access to everything. My account is different. Don't look at my account. My account's special. But yeah, the reason that you see different discounts is either because you're looking at purchase power parity, or you already have access to some of the stuff, and so we give you an extra big discount if you already have access to some stuff. So like, for example, if you already have Epic React and you want to add Epic Web to it or something, you shouldn't have to pay for Epic React again, right? And so that's why we're seeing a bigger discount. The biggest discount for somebody who doesn't have any of it is going to be 65%. So yeah, that is why that's that. Very good. Okay, got all the questions in. So we're not done there, but wait, there's more. So let's take a look at, oh, actually I was supposed to keep this open in case there are comments. Maybe I should just look at my notifications. I don't know where those chats come in. Here, maybe I click on this. Whoa, what is oh, there's chat here. Sup, chat. Okay, there we go. I found the chat. Oh, it's kensi./live. This is interesting. I've never seen this view before. Okay, great. So, that's what you get out of Epic Web. So all of those workshops, it should take you months to get through all of that. And that is going to teach you all the full stack stuff that you want to know, including testing and design stuff, which is awesome. Let me just check my watch really quick. Okay, so you also get Epic React as well. Yeah, and that actually they're kind of interspersed here. So we've got React fundamentals, server components, all this stuff. So let's go take a look at Epic React.dev. These are also using the new Epic Web learning environment, learning experience, and it's phenomenal. It's all React 19. It's all TypeScript, with the exception of a couple of things that I'll call out that are very good reason that they're not TypeScript. And it's very focused. No context switching. It's beautiful. So coming down to the descriptions of each of the workshops right here. Look, there's so much stuff. And yep, the beautiful workshop experience. This is all React 19, by the way. And actually React 19 was officially released last week, and I updated all the workshops here to React 19. So that is exciting. They were all recorded with the beta version of React 19, so I didn't have to change anything, just upgrade the version. But yeah, so React Fundamentals is 10 sections. So this is a 2-day workshop, maybe even 2.5 here. So many awesome, important concepts for your understanding of how React really works under the hood. We don't even get into state, and we cover 10 lessons that don't even get as far as state, but we do get into forms. We talk about a ton of stuff. Let's go to fundamentals to epicreact.dev. We can look at all of these things. We even have songs for all of these. It's so fun. So yeah, we get into custom components, TypeScript with React, styling, and then a bunch of form stuff, error boundaries, and rendering arrays, because they're kind of a special thing. So that is the fundamentals. It's awesome. Then we have our hooks workshop. This is 6 exercises, and so that's about 2 days worth of workshopping. We get into basic use state, and then we get into use effects. We talk about things beyond just the APIs, but like the patterns and practices that you're going to follow. So we talk about lifting state. And actually something I'm proud of in this exercise is that we also talk about the opposite of lifting state, which is co-locating state. And I think that's really important that you learn how to co-locate your state, because lifting state is something that you, if you need state that needs to be shared between 2 different components, it won't work if you don't lift. But then if one of those components no longer needs that state, it will continue to work. And so you have to be disciplined about knowing when I can push my state back down. And so that's why I have this lesson on co-locating state, because I think it's actually easier to get wrong, easier to miss, and I think it's important. Then we talk about interacting with the DOM, using refs, using the new React 19 stuff. Super cool. And then we get into unique IDs, and we have a practical example of using all of these things with tic-tac-toe, which is pretty cool, a lot of fun. So the React hooks is going to get you up and running on hooks, and then we have our advanced APIs workshop for React. This one is quite large, but some of these are kind of smaller, so I think I could probably do this one in like 2 days, maybe 2.5 days worth of workshops. Again, like one of these workshops, if I were to deliver it live, it's like $400 to $600 a day to like have me come out live and do like a ticketed thing, because I got to pay for all of the tickets, plane tickets, and my time and all of that stuff. So you're getting just such a killer deal from this experience, and you still have me. I'm right there. Boom, look at me. And so I'm still there guiding you through all of this stuff. So yeah, we talk about advanced state management. So this actually goes way deep into use reducer. So it's actually really interesting. This exercise, I have you go through a use reducer, but not in the way that you're used to. This is just like the deployed version. You actually, in the real workshop experience, you're actually running everything locally, and it's much better. Don't ignore this. This is the deployed version, just for our preview. Yeah, so I say, hey, here's the API that I want. Now create a reducer that enables that API. And by doing this, I kind of am opening your mind into what's possible out of the use reducer hook, which I think is really valuable. And then we optimize state, do a couple of really cool state optimizations to prevent unnecessary re-renders and stuff like that, which I think is kind of interesting. We learn about custom hooks and context and portals. Layout computation with use layout effect and why that matters, and that's actually a pretty cool example. Imperative handle, the thing that you don't use a lot, but like I've got a use of that just in this app that we're looking at right now. Focus management, the Flush Sync API is actually pretty sweet, so we use that. And then use sync external store, which I am also using. I think I'm pretty sure I'm using it on here. I've got a couple of good examples of that, which are pretty cool. So we go deep into what React is all about in that advanced one. And then we have suspense, and this is one of the coolest. Like in version 1, the suspense workshop was like it was cool. It was very cool, but it was like, I'm not sure that this is going to be the way that it looks. It's all experimental, but now it's not. And it's like, we use it everywhere, and it's phenomenal. And we make our own use hook. So like the last exercise is just like, hey, now swap out the your own implementation with the actual use hook from React. So we build our own version. This is all like spoiler alert. Don't look at that. But we build our own version of the use hook. I think that is pretty awesome that we can do that. Yeah, this is probably like a 2-day workshop. And then like we added more and more features with this dynamic promises stuff to handle, okay, so what happens when the user can actually change which one of these chips they're looking at, and how do we transition between those things? How do we deal with the pending states? How do we make things optimistic? What about the images? Because those are also an asynchronous thing that we need to worry about. How do we keep the UI responsive as the user is making changes, as they're searching and we're trying to do asynchronous stuff? Our lives have gotten so much better with these new utilities out of Suspense. If you're not using these things, then you're doing more work than you should, because it is just so much better with what we have out of Suspense. So that one is a really, really awesome workshop. And then we have the Advanced Patterns workshop, which goes into a bunch of mind-blowing patterns. So composition, really, really important. Even more important now that we have React Server components. We have the latest ref pattern, the compound components. You're seeing compound components everywhere. Radix is a compound component pattern all over the place. So we'll understand how it works, how to implement it ourselves, and that will help you even if you're not implementing it yourself. If you've got, if you're using Radix or some other component library that probably uses compound components, you'll be able to use them more effectively because you understand how it works. Slots is a really interesting one. Now this one I am like 80% sure that you will use it if you're a component library author, but like maybe 70. Like, not totally certain that this one's going to be generally applicable to a lot of you. However, it is used by React Aria, a very powerful and popular component library that has lots and lots of components, and it's used very effectively there. And so I teach you that here. It's very, very interesting. This is a new one from, I didn't have it in V1. I also didn't have this one in V1, or I don't think I had composition in V1 either. Maybe I did. I think I did actually. But yeah, latest ref is new, slots is new. Prop collections and getters, still solid one. Lots of Tainer Lindsley's libraries implement this pattern. State initializer, pretty common, pretty simple, but very valuable. And state reducer and control props. Both of these are also, especially control props, very widely used. And yeah, this is like a 2-day workshop as well. So pretty cool, go deep, especially if you're building component libraries, you want that one. But even if you're not, like the composition pattern is really valuable. And then also understanding how those libraries work, really valuable for you as well. Okay, then we have React Performance. This one is so killer. Okay, let me see if I can, no, I can't show it to you without pulling it up. It'd take a lot of time. But like, we look at some flame graphs that just like are so cool. It is in the concurrent rendering exercise where we combine use deferred value and memo to like solve a massive problem in the way that that like React works in the way that the browser is rendering things, making things really, really fast, screaming fast for, or at least screaming responsive for users who are on lower end devices and stuff. Very, very cool. But yeah, so this is another 2-day workshop. It's, yeah, we've got optimizing context, something that, yeah, everybody's going to want to know how to do. Element optimization. This one is like, it's not like an API that you get out of React. It's like, here are some things that React can do if you construct your React tree in this way. And so like some optimizations that you get that React has already optimized. And so if you just change the way that you write your components, it'll be a lot faster. And so we dive in pretty deep into how you can optimize your React elements. We do use a couple APIs in here from React, like use memo and React.memo and stuff. But you'll really understand why those things work. And I think that's really valuable. And then, yeah, get into some non-React things like, or tangentially related to React things like code splitting with React.lazy and dynamic imports. We talk about use memo and expensive calculations. And then we go beyond that though. And we say, hey, if it's really that bad, maybe you should stick it in a web worker. And so I teach you how to do web workers with platform APIs and stuff. So cool. And then optimizing rendering I go through the whole React rendering lifecycle. And with React.memo, we make our own comparator, or custom comparator argument. And then actually, this is so cool. So I show you the comparator argument, and it's really like kind of mind bendy. It's like, wait, when do I, what? And it's easy to mess up. And then in the next step, I show you how to delete that entirely just by changing the API of your component. And now it's really simple and it's really fast. It's super cool. So going into principles, people, it's very important. That one in particular, don't solve problems, eliminate them. That is what you are going to learn. That's the principle in that. It's so cool. And then windowing, using Tanner Lindsley's React Virtualize, or what is it called? What does he call it? I can't remember. React Virtual. There it is. TanStack React Virtual. It's very good. Very, very good. And then probably my favorite, I think, I don't know. I like all of these, but this one, how do you choose your favorite child? I don't know. Server components is super duper cool. This one, we build our own framework on top of React server components. So I don't use Next.js, though technically Epic React.dev and Epic Web.dev, they're Next.js sites, but I don't build these. I have a partner company that manages all this stuff for me. Everything that I do, like this app, is using Remix or React Router v7, and so they don't yet support React server components, but they will very soon. Like I think we're months away at most. Maybe 1 month away from getting some RSC support in Remix or React Router v7. And so because I don't use Next.js, I don't want to teach you a workshop on server components with Next.js, but it's really there's also Waku, and Redwood now supports it as well. But certainly at the time I was putting this together, Next.js was like the only real option. And then beyond that, I want you to really understand how RSCs work under the hood. And so instead of using Next.js, we build our own framework on top of RSCs with no tools, no build tools, no compiler, nothing. And with like running a single server. It's so cool. And you really, really get a solid understanding of how RSCs work under the hood. And then you can take that knowledge to a Next.js app, or you could take it to Waku or Redwood, or in the future, you're going to be able to take it to React Router v7 and start making use of this very quickly. And I think that is just so sick. You're going to have such great time going through this stuff. This is, I can get this workshop done in a day. Not very well though. I end up skipping a bunch of stuff. So this is like a day and a half, maybe 2 day workshop. And we go really, really deep. It's very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, that is what you get out of that. And then of course you get 16 interviews with experts in the React ecosystem. These are high quality people and high quality conversations. Some of the smartest people that I know are in this group. It's awesome. And then on top of that, we're not done. We still have testing JavaScript. So like I said, Artem is working on updating testing JavaScript to be all Epic Web and modern and everything. Testing JavaScript was released, or the last time it had an update was back in 2020. Yeah, so it has been a bit of time since we've had an update, but the principles that you learn from this are still really valuable, and the fact that you get this in addition to all the other stuff is just like bonus. It's gravy. It's beautiful. So yeah, in testing JavaScript, you're going to learn all about the testing trophy and how awesome it is. This is when I had a different lens in this camera, and it was like a fish bowl lens. Just like, look at how big my face looks in this video. I don't know, it looks funny. It had a really, really high low f-stop or whatever that is. And I was in this room. I just had these panels behind me. Anyway, okay, so we get into fundamentals. So Artem has already redone this one, but in this one we build our own version of Jest. And then Artem already did this one as well. We build our own version of how mocking works in Jest, which is cool. Artem is working. He's got like 3 workshops, I think, or 4 that he wants to do next year. It's going to be so good. He's shown me the outlines and they're fantastic. I think it's 4. Yeah, so we've got static analysis testing. That's our static types are prettier and ESLint and stuff. Then you also get DOM testing library to test any JS framework. The reason this one actually exists is just to demonstrate to you that it doesn't that the testing framework is an implementation detail and should not be really relevant to your tests. So the test itself is going to be unchanged regardless of which one of these frameworks are used to create the DOM elements, which I think is really cool. And then we have a configuring workshop, or not workshop, it's more of a course where you can see, okay, what are all the different options and why would I use those? And then this one is actually huge. It's 42 lessons where we go through lots of different scenarios that you end up trying to test with React testing library, which of course again is applicable regardless of what framework you're using. And then we get into end-to-end testing with Cypress. Super cool. Cypress is still a solid technology if you're using it. I don't see, unless you're having some sort of specific issues with it, I don't see a huge amount of push to move to Playwright. I do think Playwright is better, but you can add testing library queries to Cypress and have a really good experience with that. So I don't necessarily, I wouldn't start a new project and use Cypress, but if you're using Cypress now, I wouldn't necessarily say you should migrate. Maybe one day. Playwright is still doing a lot of things, and Cypress still has a really nice experience. So, and then we also have testing node backends. Now this is where I transitioned from, hey, let's watch me do videos, to, hey, you need to be at the keyboard typing things out. So we actually do have exercises in the testing node backends, and it is pretty cool. And then we have interviews. Look at all these wonderful people, these smart, intelligent, cool people. You can enjoy these interviews with these folks, and this is another one of those things where you just like stick it on your phone, put it on the counter, and wash the dishes as you listen to these awesome people tell us about their experience with testing and stuff. And so that just comes along for the ride with everything else. And then finally, there's Epic React V1. I don't even have a place to show you all of that stuff, but if you're using an older version of React, can't upgrade to React 18 or 19, you're still on 16.4, whatever, this is all hooks. Yeah, for some reason you can't, or maybe you're not using TypeScript and you want to just see what does it look like with just JavaScript. You should probably still use V2, but because you should probably just be using TypeScript. But Epic React V1 is included along with everything else. So like I was saying, if you were to actually pay for a live in-person workshop, then actually this first one, this is a 5-day workshop. This one workshop by itself would cost more than the entire Megabundle. So this is an enormous amount of value that you're getting from this Megabundle, which of course it's showing me that I have 90% off, but that is depending on what you already have access to, that could change. So 65% off is the base. So for $1,000, you can have all of this stuff. And this will take care of your education for the entire year of 2025. It will take you so long to get through all of this stuff. And then of course the value you get out of it is just massive, just enormous. People are getting pay raises and promotions and their first jobs and things from the stuff that they're learning in this material. I'm not making that up. I'm not trying to be salesy or anything. I'm just telling you what people have told me, and that's actually really gratifying to hear that. So if that has happened to you, let me know, because it makes me feel great. So with that's everything that you need to become an Epic web developer. So let me just double check the chat and stuff and see what questions there are. Testimonial from Alexander for the Epic React and Web here. Awesome content, amazing platform. Thank you, Alexander. I appreciate that. X Live view is now how X should look in the first place. Oh, this? Yeah, I think it looks quite nice. Yep. Hello, person. That just doesn't yeah, probably the mouth is freaking me out. What do I do with this? Maybe it's actually a real person. I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm blocking it anyway. You can't even see it. Ha. Okay. What would you say the benefit for someone who already has Epic React Sub into buying the Mega Bundle for Epic Web? Yeah, the benefit is you get Epic Web at a discount, because Epic Web by itself typically costs $1,200. So buying it, even if you don't have Epic React, you're going to be getting it for $1,000, as well as Epic React and testing JavaScript and everything else. So for one, you get it at a massive discount. And then for two, the material in there is going to be helpful for you in the future, because we are all moving to full stack engineers. Unless you're very niche, like focused on something in like design or components or something, even if you're doing components, like it's very likely that you're going to be working with backend related code with RSCs and things. And so getting a really good understanding of how the backend works is going to help you immensely. Okay, I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back after just a moment. Okay, we're back. Okay, so what would you say is the benefit? Oh yeah, got that. Alvaro is saying your content is incredible. I've never seen such complete courses. Thank you very much. One person is saying that this is very expensive for them. We do have purchase power parity, so you could look at that and see if the discount is even greater for you than the 65% it is now. It is a lot of money, and like no joke, this is a huge investment for you. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat that, but it is a massive investment, and so it is. I'm not gonna say that it's not worth what I charge for it. That said, if it really is just outside of your budget, all of this material is open source on GitHub. So you would be missing a couple of things like the diff tab, the test tab, the videos, progress tracking, and like the reminders and accountability features that we have in there. So there are a lot of things that you would actually be missing. Also, like the expert interviews wouldn't be included, but you can go through the material on your own. If it's really outside of your reach, just go on GitHub. You can download it, run it, and it all will work. You just are missing a bunch of features that you get when you pay. But I do want to make it like education. I think is really important. It's how people get out of situations where they can start earning more money. And so that's what we've done at Epic Web. This includes also Artem and Simon's workshops as well. It's all open source, and I think that's important. So hopefully that is helpful at least. Alvaro, is there any part where you show how, here, actually, you know what, like, can I pop this out? I want y'all to see what I see. Here we go. And Simon, so let me pop this out. There's a way to pop this out. Pop out chat, here we go. And we'll just stick that right here. Now we're all looking at the chat together. Beautiful. Okay. Show how not to break the page with the upload to production by having the page cached. I'm Okay. So I think I understand the scenario you're describing. So you've got your production website, and then you've got a user who's like on that website right now, and then you deploy a new version. So now you've got this new version that maybe the backend has changed and stuff like that. And so now the users who are in this version are talking to the backend, and that backend is now different, and so things can blow up or whatever. I don't specifically show how to solve that. That problem is called version skew. And there's a well understood, that's not a new problem. It's been around since the very beginning. There's a well understood practice for that, and that is to migrate or to make sure that every deploy is backward compatible with at least one version, or like it'll depend on how long you expect users to have that page cached, right? Like how long are they going to have it open? And so you just make sure that it's backward compatible for as long as you need it to be for your use case. And that involves using feature flags and different stuff like that. So if it's important to you, like it is quite a bit of extra effort, but if it's important to you, then you can do that. Remix actually kind of handles some of this for you. If it detects that there's a version change, it will reload the user's browser. The way they do that is kind of safe, I think, but I don't have the details on how that's accomplished. Yeah, so like for some apps, it actually doesn't matter all that much. Like there will be an error, triggers a refresh of the page, and everything's all good from there. If it really matters to you, then having some backward compatible backend APIs is really important, and like that's been the solution to that problem for a long time. We don't really discuss this in the workshops anywhere. I've got a nice long list of things that I want to teach about, and this is definitely on that list. And this is part of why I invited other people to help me teach on the platform, because there's just too much. Okay, I see you're referring it to me, but I won't get a raise for my knowledge. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can enable this value in Brazil, please. Yeah, you should have access to it in Brazil. I'm not sure how to respond to that question, sorry. Okay, cool. So that is all the questions. As a quick reminder, the Epic Megabundle is going to be available for another 3.5 days. So go and grab that as soon as you possibly can. In addition, I want you to go check out the conference and see if you can make it to Epic WebConf. See these awesome people. Oh, look, we've got them added now. Yes, sweet. So yeah, we've got Ryan on here and Zach there now. And like I said, I've got a bunch of others. One of my MCs has verified, and I'm excited to have her. She's going to be awesome. And we've got another MC that's waiting to verify. And then I will be sending out the official acceptance letters to the speakers, and we'll give them like a week to respond to that. And then we'll get them up on the site too. So we've got a whole bunch more where this came from, and it's going to be so cool. So yeah, grab the Epic Megabundle. It's going to be epic, and we'll see you around on Discord. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.